Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Barely Bookish podcast. Today, we're continuing on with the vampire Lestat, and I am once again joined by Candace.
Hi, hi.
All right, we have a lot happening. We have so much going on. Let's get into chapter 9.
Let's do it.
So, the next night, Lestat's like, you know what, fuck it. And we're going to go to Paris with a shit ton of gold, which, I mean, at least someone's spending the murder victim's money, you know?
It's going to a good place.
A good place, as in Lestat's pocket.
And he's so pleased to be out on the town. I love a shopping episode in anime, and that's how chapter 9 felt to me.
I mean, here's my thing. If I was Lestat and I was like, oh, yeah, as I've been previously impoverished, let me just ransack the town. Like the amount of ordering I'm doing night one is I'm gonna go feral.
Mhm.
AKA I'm like really gonna go to a very nice restaurant
Yes.
and like tip generously.
Yes.
I don't really want like furniture. I'm not the biggest clothes person.
Mhm.
I am, however, a foodie and I love a bougie restaurant.
Same. I would probably buy better furniture. Like, I'd buy myself a nice coffin because the one
Yes.
that he has is awful.
No, you're
And
right.
I would pay someone to, like, make a fake room. And
Mhm.
then I would probably pay someone to, like, board up the window.
Mhm.
And then pay someone to come in there and make a fake room and just say, oh, guest bedroom, I want to make it lavish. And that's my new bedroom. And then
Yep.
just bar the door so that people can't like come in. Because having a little tunnel that I got to crawl through every day to get home, no, thank you.
No.
Even if
No,
you buy the nice clothes, you're going to snag them all on the fucking tunnel that you're in.
Yeah. Imagine coming home trashed. You're
Oh,
like,
no.
fuck, I gotta get through that spelunking tunnel.
Absolutely not. No. No, not for me.
I would also get installed those fake, you know, in like basement apartments where they have the fake windows, which are just like light so you don't have depression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd get some of those installed. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Same.
If the year was now 2025, I would have the windows like Louis and Armand have with like you can go and be awake during the daytime because they're so tinted.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have those motherfuckers up.
That part.
I would simply live long enough like Armand where I can suddenly be in the daytime, and then I would brag about it like on TikTok to my vampire followers on a beach in the Maldives, just like suntanning, and I'll be like, "Sup, bitches?" You know, like
living my life.
I'd be the worst elder vampire out there, honestly.
I don't know. I feel like you're not gonna like force your fledgling to watch you dance and burn yourself alive in a fire while they shit themselves. I feel like that you're not gonna like bind another vampire to take his vampire essence from him forcibly without consent and then forcibly take a bunch of other people's consent after you become a vampire. Like I just don't see that in your future. So I hear you when you say you'd be the worst. But I don't know. I feel like maybe not.
In like a Y2K sense, like my little vampire baddie self, you know? But
Got it. Okay, yes. Yeah, in a bad bitch kind of way.
Yeah.
Yes, it's hot Rachel Summer, right? It's vampire Rachel Summer, and we're gonna fucking stink it up, right? It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna just be so fucking bad. But worst vampire? No.
No,
No.
definitely not.
Terrible.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm just imagining that me getting canceled on vampire TikTok because I said I was the worst, and like fucking Lestat being like, actually,
how dare you,
Magnus?
How
that motherfucker?
Dare you? Do you have any idea what I've been through? Do you have any idea? Even Louis and Claudia don't know what I've been through. Do you know? Like, listen. That's a fist fight waiting to happen, Rachel. Don't do it.
Truly. Oh my god. Okay, so Lestat's on his way into Paris. He's absolutely starving. But he's like, man, I could really go, like, as if when you're drunk and you see the pizza shop shining with a fucking light, you know? This guy's like, give me on. Oh yeah, you're like, man, it's 4 a.m. They're still open. The single street lamp is like flickering over them. And you're like, that
seems like a
slice
good
is
idea.
gonna be so fucking good.
Yeah.
So someone attempts to rob him, and he's like, thank God.
I was getting really impatient. I was thinking I might have to murder an innocent person, but you've made it really easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that scene is so interesting. I love the way she writes it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is trying to come at him to rob him, and Lestat's like, no thank you, don't want you to rob me. And the guy's like, I mean, okay, but I'm gonna. And proceeds to try and, like, strong arm him.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes, like, no seconds at all for Lestat to be like, oh? Now I'm the predator and you're the prey. And this guy,
Mm-hmm.
like, he talks about how he can, like, smell this guy's fear, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a turning point where he can, like, smell him being scared, and he's like, ooh. It's like blood in the water for a shark almost. And,
Mm-hmm.
like, the following scene is such a nice, like, contrast and juxtaposition with the scene with him and the wolves and the horse dying. Like, it's such
Mm-hmm.
a nice reverse. Like, she did a really good job. This is what I'm saying, right? I've already said this, but I'm so glad we're reading The Vampire Lestat, because I remember thinking that Anne Rice was a really great writer, right? I was like, man, I was really into her stuff for a long time. Was I just making do? Because we read Interview with the Vampire, and I was like, this leaves a lot to be desired. This
Yeah.
is still very good, but also, right? But this book, I feel like this book is so much more expressive, and I feel like the voice
Mm-hmm.
that she has is so much more engaging here
Mm-hmm.
than it is in the first book.
Oh yeah, I am locked in.
Right? The contrast between those two scenes is so good. Like, he starts talking about, like, how the man is, like, calling out and the sounds he's making, right? And it's very
Mm-hmm.
much like the horse making those horrible sounds in the snow. Like,
Mm-hmm.
except instead of there being a Lestat, there's now just a wolf. And he's the
Mm-hmm.
wolf. like, it's good, man. It's real good.
Oh, it's so good. I'm
Mhm.
obsessed. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Same. Same.
I know. The slippery slope of us slowly becoming an Anne Rice podcast. You know.
Honestly, every time I feel like we get a little closer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're gonna like finish this and we're like, what if we like write the next one? I don't know.
That the thing is, though, I'm like 89% sure there is going to become a time, like, there is going to come a time in this conversation between the two of us about Anne Rice's work where we're going to
Mhm.
go, because there's definitely a book that's like Vampire Lestat, Prince Vampire Lestat, and the mermaids at the bottom of the sea, or some
Yep.
nonsense. There's definitely like the aliens from outer space, right? Like, there's definitely like a weird, like, late on, like, her second to last or last book is called something real dumb. Oh, it's the city of Atlantis. That's what it is. I
Oh
think it's like
yeah.
Prince Lestat and the Journey to Atlantis. And I'm like, is he Milo Thatch? What are we doing here? Are we crossing streams? Like, I don't understand. Like, so I feel like before we get to that, surely it
Mm-hmm.
must go off the rails, because
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine being an Anne Rice fan holding the Vampire Lestat in my hands, like, I love Anne Rice, and then 20 years later being like, Lestat and the fucking bottom of the ocean? What is this clown shit? What's
I
wrong with you, Anne Rice? Like, fucking,
I have a sneaking suspicion that this is gonna age like fucking milk, and we're gonna be like, man, that fucking
I
journey
love.
to Atlantis.
I never knew Lestat didn't need to breathe underwater. He grew gills. Can you imagine? This book is so good. Oh God, please, please no. But
I'm
also,
gonna laugh.
I will laugh really.
I, the,
Yo, we're gonna get to the body thief, and it's gonna be like,
Mhm.
I've always wanted to go to the bottom of the ocean, and she's gonna plant a seed in fucking
Yeah.
1989, like, boop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, one day we'll get there. Like, son
I
of a bitch.
hope I hope it's gonna be Spaceballs version. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God. Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please. We all need it in our lives. Anne Rice, you have been dead for some time now,
Mhm.
but wherever you are, just know we think we might have needed your stupid book. So thank you for writing it.
I hope that whenever I die, this becomes the Afterlife podcast. We could do the same shit wherever the after is,
Oh my
you
God,
know?
please.
And we're
I don't want to
having
read books, though. I want to read
Mhm.
people. It'd have to
Yeah,
be an
I
interview
want
style show where we
Mhm.
have people on
Mhm.
and just
Mhm.
roast them to their face.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. And we have Anne Rice on and we just go, "What the fuck happened with Atlantis?"
It
Question.
really got away from you, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but we have like 8,000 episodes devoted to your fucking book series. Would you like to listen to them one by one? Let's do a retrospective. We're going to show up and we're going to listen to the podcast together, and then we're going to
Mhm.
talk back. Okay? It's going to be
Mhm.
great, Anne Rice. Just come on.
Okay. So Lestat starts enjoying drinking this dude's blood a little too much, and he's like, "Oh shit, you're dead." Drops him because he's like keeps forgetting that rule. He's like, "It was kind of good. It tastes kind of yummy," which is the same reaction I have to a good margarita, honestly.
Mhm. I
Um,
I also think that, like, his willingness to play with that is scary. Like, especially
yeah.
especially for the reader, because you if you're not reading The Vampire Lestat like it's the first book in the series, which you very much shouldn't, right? If you
Mhm,
read the first book, you know that that's, like, the one rule, right? Like,
mhm,
there's almost no rules. There's, like, 3 rules. No sun, don't get staked through the heart, don't kill another vampire, and
mhm,
this, right? So 4 rules,
mhm.
right? There's 4 rules and that's it. And I would argue that don't kill another vampire, that's, like, the last rule anybody gets told, right? Like, I
Mhm.
feel like that rule gets told when your sire realizes that you've had a fucking enough, and then they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Also, you're not allowed to murder
Yep.
other vampires," right? Like,
Yep. Yep.
it's
Yep.
not a day one rule. Because if someone
Mm-mm.
gave that to you as a day one rule, you'd be like, "I wasn't thinking about murdering another vampire, but
Now.
now I want to know how often that happens and why." Right? Why
Mhm.
is there a rule for this?
Mhm.
Um, but I think that, like, just like if you've been reading these books and you know about these rules, Lestat breaking the rule of, like, don't keep drinking when their heart stops, like,
Mhm.
I'm like, "What's gonna happen to you, man?" Like, I feel like we
Yeah.
haven't really found out yet because he hasn't decided yet that that's, like, where he's gonna be, but he's on a slippery slope with that because you're right,
Yeah.
he said it tasted really good. He's like, "It tastes even better at the end." Like, you wanna hold on, right? It makes you
Yeah.
wanna hold on, and it's like, what
Don't
happens if
do
you hold
that.
on? Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, it's scary. This is a Black Mirror episode for vampires, don't do it.
Mhm. Yeah. I just it's giving like the vibe where you like have that friend that's like a known alcoholic and has been sober for like 10 years and they're like, "Yeah, I just like to
Mhm.
go to the bars for the vibe." And you're like, "That's don't maybe
No.
maybe
No, don't do that.
yeah."
It
You're like,
smells
"You're
really good
putting
in there. No,
no.
don't do that.
No. Maybe don't put yourself on that slope. Like
Yeah,
no one
no.
asked you to do that. There's other
No,
places to go."
we can go to the movies and hang out.
Yeah.
We can go to pizza.
We can find you a different third place. Yeah.
Literally anything else. Coffee house, tea bar, anything.
Mhm. Anything.
Kava. Like,
Yeah. Don't do that.
oh my god.
So then he just picks up the body, launches it into the snow in the distance. He's like, "All right, no one's gonna find that." Which,
I washed my hands of it.
yeah, it gives the vibe of like in the 50s where people just like leave their trash around, and they're
Literally.
just like, "Whatever, fuck it, it's fine."
Yeah. Someone will get it.
Yeah. So, getting into town, he finds himself an attorney, and it's Pierre Roger, which is how I'm assuming that's pronounced, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
go with it. So he looks at him. He's like, "So I married an heiress. So that's why everything's in jewels."
Mhm.
And this dude's like, "All right, fuck it."
Seems
Like,
legit.
yeah. I don't like he definitely knows he's lying, but he's like, "You got a lot of money on you, buddy. I don't really give a
Yeah.
fuck how you got it."
What I will say though is, like, I feel like, again, like, the contrast here is so funny because, like, he talks about how his mom used to just take jewels and make magic happen. So then he does what his mom used to do, right? His mom has totally prepared him for this moment. He's like, "I can take jewels and make magic." And so he goes to the dude and the dude is like, "This is not how money works." Right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, "Well, what's the mom been doing this whole time? She was an heiress and she paid for things in jewels. So what the fuck, man? What do you
Yeah.
mean you don't take jewels? Take them."
Yeah.
Like, poor Lestat, just doing everything that he knows to do, and they're
Mhm.
like, "All of this is wrong, but you're rich, so it's fine. We'll look the other way." And he's like, "Good. I'm not gonna learn how to do things the right way.
No.
Why bother?" Like,
Yeah. It's
ugh,
there's something about setting a precedent.
yes,
So he sends his money to his father, his brothers, and I'm like, "Bro, why?" And
duty.
then he sends money to Nick, his husband.
It feels like a reverse Ebenezer Scrooge. This scene.
Mhm. Mhm.
Boy, what day is it? You got turned into a vampire yesterday, sir. Ha ha! Give the money to all the children. We're
Mhm.
going out in style. Like,
Because I mean, he's a vampire. Realistically, he does not need that many worldly possessions.
he doesn't, and, like, I feel like that what's probably going to come in the next few chapters is that kind of positioning, right? Him
Mhm.
understanding how much he needs and of what. Because when Louis meets Lestat, he doesn't have any money, but he's still dressed in finery. Like, he's
Mhm.
still he's still showing up the way that he wants to be seen, even though he himself doesn't have a never-ending supply of cash,
Yeah.
right? So he finds both comfort and stability in Louis because Louis has
Mhm.
money, and that's what he needs to like feel whole, because this is how he spent his time as a fledgling, right? Like he's setting a very horrible precedent for himself. And I'm like, this is very much the energy of like a kept person, right? Like when you
Mhm.
hear of someone getting like adopted by a sugar daddy, right? Whatever gender they are. You hear
Yeah.
of someone like there's like a sugar person that's like, I just want to take care of you. You don't have to do anything except for these 3 things that are probably not great, but
Mhm.
it's money and it's a job and you'll do it, right? And the person's like, sure, yeah, I'll do whatever you say. Um, it feels like that, but there's no sugar daddy. Like he's his
Yeah.
own sugar daddy right now.
Mhm. Mhm. So he ends up sending a separate letter to his mother, and he's like, "You should go to Italy and see if it stops your consumption. Here's some money." Which again, I wish someone would do that for me. Send me to Italy to stop the depressy, please.
Seriously.
So he's refurnishing the house that he grew up in, and I'm like, bro, why? Those people suck. Like, tell them get fucked. So he ends up scaring the shit out of all the humans that follow him because he like, and he's picking out furniture right now. He sees a rat and he's like, I wonder if I can catch it, and then fucking grabs it with supernatural strength.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted to see what its feet looked like.
That rat's like, take me out to dinner and buy me something on Amazon first.
Yeah, literally. And all the humans are like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Like, how the fuck did he do that?
Yo, the fucking guy, the fucking solicitor is like, he has a lot of money. And the other guy's like, oh, he can look at a rat's feet if he wants.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever.
guys, it shouldn't be that easy for rich people to do whatever they want. Point right now.
Mhm.
Literally, as of this recording, there are two. The richest man in the world is getting into a Twitter spat with the president of the United States, and it is so embarrassing. Both of them are
It's so
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
It is like watching two of the worst people that you know go at it and not wanting to root for anyone.
Mhm.
Okay, that's sad as fuck.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to root for them. Okay, nobody. No one wants either of those dudes to win. Ugh, terrible.
Yeah.
That's what happens when we pedestal rich people, okay? When we think rich people are better than us just because they have more money and no morals, that's what happens, okay? Lesson learned. So I'm looking at those two in the book like, don't fall for his ruse, okay? Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
money, but he's a fucking weirdo and you need to be suspicious of him because one day he's going to eat you.
I'm not gonna lie though, if a really hot, rich vampire like moved horribly fast, looked me in the eye, handed me a grand, and said, "Tell no one," I ain't telling shit.
I mean, for sure, but I'm certainly
Yeah.
not going to trust that person.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going to be
no.
like, he's clearly not a vampire moving preternaturally fast to grab a rat and pluck it
Yeah.
from the ground and then throw it down before I can even blink my eyes. No.
No.
No, I will never turn my back on that person. I will be stacked
No.
with fucking crosses and garlic, bro. Okay? Every time I see you, unless I think that you're into me, and then I will come with neck-bearing garments.
So he ends the night staring at the theater with his fake name on the playbill. And
Ridiculous.
he's like, I'm never gonna go near that again. Which again, this is why we never say never, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It always bites you in the ass.
Always.
So then we're on to chapter 10. So he starts going to the worst parts of the city, finding, drinking everybody and anybody. Which, if I was a vampire, this is what I would do. I would just clear the fuck out of the
Mm-hmm.
filth. Or you'd be like,
Yeah.
wow, the city that I live in just became like the most safe city. I'm gonna be like, crazy.
Vampire Batman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
An obscene amount of murder. Nothing else.
Agree. Yeah.
So much missing persons. How did that happen?
I mean, are they missing? Does someone miss them?
I know exactly where they are, so I don't know.
You know, it'll be all right. It'll be fine.
No.
Start leaving notes about how they're going to visit the countryside.
Yeah. They ran away to live on a farm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. There's a farm upstate where they all are and they're having a great time all hanging
Mhm.
out together.
Mhm. Mhm.
Leave the family a small sum of money.
Yep.
They'll be fine. They'll get over it.
Yeah. Like the wives and girlfriends are not even a report. They're gonna be like, "Oh,
Listen, thank God that
mhm.
asshole's out of my house and I don't have to feed him anymore or have sex with him at all. Oh,
Mhm.
you know, like, just do some community service, Lestat. That's all
Truly."
anyone wants you to do.
Yeah. That's what I'm using my vampireness for, okay?
Mhm.
Weird night jobs. 911. I would become a 911 operator and I'd be like, guys, I have to go to the bathroom really quick.
BRB.
BRB,
Yeah.
baby.
So, like, this scene reminded me so much of the show when Louis gets to France, right? When Louis gets to Paris, and Armand is like, "Yo, you're out of your mind. You're out here feeding on people left and right, like in the street." And Louis is like, "I'm going for the people that are shitty. I'm going for the people who like approach me, right?" Like that's his defense.
Hmm.
But like what's deepening that right now is that like again, this isn't in the book. Like someone had to manufacture this and make it, but you know that the people who wrote that show must love these fucking books. Like love these fucking books
Hmm.
because Lestat is there when Louis is doing this. Like we know Lestat is in Louis's ear while Louis is feeding off of these guys, and I'm
Hmm.
willing to bet good money that if we rewatched the second season of Interview with the Vampire and we see
Hmm.
those scenes where Lestat is watching Louis feed in Paris, like on these guys under bridges and under like darkened
Hmm.
tree corners, right, like in the park and stuff, I'm willing to
Hmm.
bet you good money that he says something that like nods to this time, that nods to the time
Probably.
that he spent hunting in the streets of Paris, right? Oh, at least you picked a bad guy, stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's so wild to like think about like knowing what we know now in this book and then thinking what the creators of the show, what the writers of the show did with Lestat's visions, right? With Louis Lestat's of like Louis' visions of Lestat, knowing that yes, those are coming from Louis, right? Louis is imagining Lestat there, but we also
Hmm.
know that Lestat was kind of there, right? Like he admits later on in the season that he was sort of around, right? That he could hear Armand talking to him and telling him Louis was in Paris. So I'm like, how much of that was all in Louis's mind and how much of that was Lestat just pinging him, right? To be like, hey, are you still there? Do you still miss me? Checking
Hmm.
in, you know? I don't know. It really reminded me of that scene a great deal when I read this
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. No, I see that for sure.
Mhm. Oh no, even more fucked up. Can you imagine him trying to like peek into Louis's mind to see if any of them are blonde haired and blue eyed, considering his fucking trauma?
Yes.
Considering his trauma with Magnus,
Yep.
like,
Hmm.
please don't date another blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. I don't think I could take it. If you date someone
Hmm.
who looks like me, I will come and murder him immediately. I have no choice.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
triggered, okay? I have a very specific trauma to this situation, and I will murder all of your boyfriends. I'm
Hmm.
so sorry.
Hmm.
Please don't date anyone who looks like me. It fucks me up, and I see red, and then suddenly everyone's dead in the room. So just don't make me
Oh
do
my
that,
god.
okay?
The vampire dark romance of Lestat murdering all of Louis' new boyfriends because they look a little like him.
Listen. Like,
Someone
it's
write
all
that
I can
shit.
think about. It's all I can think about, especially with the bodies. Like, you start with, like, this, like, horrible, like, my ex-boyfriend is a serial killer, but it ends with, this is why he does what he does, because he is
Yep.
horribly triggered from seeing a room full of corpses in various
Hmm.
states of decay. One of
Hmm.
them was clawing their way out, but he's the chosen one. He has survivor's guilt. Like, I definitely need that fic. I need it. I need it yesterday.
I want to write it. It's like that little, like, inside little, like, writer's itch to be like, am I capable of writing something that good? You know?
Literally.
I want to write it. I don't think I am capable of writing that, but I want to try, you know? I might not go anywhere. It might just be like a little thing for me, but you know.
I mean, we can say that we're gonna do something, try it, and decide that we're not doing that thing. That's okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
No one's judging.
All right, TBD on that one. I'm gonna just put that in my little pocket. So he says that he enjoys the fight the most, but if they just feel afraid and not like angry fighting, he kind of gets bored and loses interest, which, yeah,
Nasty.
love it. So his mother writes back and she's like, I'll try to go to Italy in the spring if I can manage to live that long. Um, but can you please send me some books? Which the mom has a vibe.
Valid.
Nikki, on the other hand, is like, Lestat, get your ass back home. What the fuck are you doing? Where
I
are
don't want
you
your
at?
fucking money. How dare you? I'm not a prostitute.
Yeah. And then, like, apparently he goes to Louis' like finance guy and was
Yeah,
like, where the
to the
fuck is
lawyer.
he?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know he must be here somewhere. I don't stop sending me pretty things. Where is
Yeah.
this person? I want to talk to him right now. And the guy's like, I don't know where he is. He doesn't tell
And
me where he is or what he's doing. I'm forbidden to
he
tell, but I also don't know.
he tells Louis, he's like, you need to hang out with him because homie's starting to scare me. So Nikki's still playing at the same theater, and Lestat's like, "Why? Like, I literally gave you so much money so that you could go and do better things because you're so talented, and I love you, ma ma ma."
Mhm.
Um, but it's definitely because Nikki wants Lestat to come back. Like,
That's it.
yeah.
Just naked obsession.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Renard wants Lestat to buy the theater, but keep him on as a manager because he's like, "We have no money, please."
Mhm.
And Lestat's like, "Fuck no!" Slams the door, turns around, walks back in. He goes, "Actually, you know what? Yeah."
Fine. This could come in handy in the future when my lover in 1970 decides to try, or in
Hmm.
19 fucking 20 decides to try and leave me.
Hmm.
This could come in handy actually, so sure.
Could be handy. So it's been less than a month, and he's already just like chilling amongst the mortals. But he's like, Nikki would definitely see right through me. I
Mhm.
cannot meet up with that man.
Yep.
We find out that his hair and nails no longer grow, and if he files his nails down, they just grow to the same length that they were before he died. So, all right, this is coming back to our vampire prep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So, like, do you think that this means like you cannot get like extensions? Do you think they would immediately fall out? Do you think that like you your hair is just now also immortal and it has to be exactly the way it is? Like, if I was having a really bad hair day, do you think it's like that forever?
So I think that if you wake up and you go and get a shitty haircut before you get turned into a vampire, yeah, you're stuck with that
Yeah.
forever, unfortunately. Bedhead, no. I feel like bedhead sorts itself out, just like how your hair
Hmm.
becomes a lot more luminous and more gorgeous and fancy. I feel like your hair is like, this won't do. You have to be sexy. You're a vampire. And then your bedhead
Hmm.
gets sorted out. Now, extensions.
Hmm.
I actually feel like extensions is probably the one thing you can get away with.
Yeah, I'm hopeful.
Because if your hair just grows to the same length it was before you died or when you died,
Hmm.
as long as you don't cut your hair, it's not gonna move, right? So, like, if I put my
Yeah.
hair into box braids, let's say, like a protective style, my
Hmm.
hair is still gonna stay the same length. I'm not really doing anything to it. I'm just adding hair on top of it.
Uh
So I
huh.
don't think it would fall out. I feel like it would just be like, "Oh, same length. You're good." Right? Like, I think it would just,
True.
like, sit there in your head. Like, same thing with, like, the kind of comb extensions or like the little
Hmm.
bead of glue that they put in
Yeah.
extensions sometimes, like those like quote unquote more natural looking extensions or like a weave.
Yeah.
I don't think that that would necessarily grow out. I feel like braiding the hair that you have, I don't think it unravels at the end of the night.
Okay. Okay. That makes me feel better because I was like, do we think there's some sort of magic that does not allow your hair to like change at all?
Yeah, that would be maddening. I wouldn't like that.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, if that's the case, if my hair looks exactly the same all the time, day two after wash day, then come get me. You know,
Yes.
not day one. Day one, it's a little too perfect. It's a
Agree.
little, like, weird. It's a little, like,
Gotta
still
do a
trying to
lot of
figure it out.
sprucing. Hmm.
Yeah. Day two, I'm in. Day
Yeah.
three, we're starting to look a little greasy.
Yeah. Yeah. Day two would be the day.
Yeah. So
But at
give
the
me.
same time, again, if you did get taken on day 1 or day 3, I feel like the vampirism would course correct you.
Okay.
I
True.
feel like
True, true,
that
true.
3-day window is really what you want. You don't want like, "Hey, I've been really hectic and I've only had time to wash my hair and not detangle it or deep condition it or do anything else
Mhm.
to it. Just make sure it's not a greasy mess and now it's a rat's nest." Not that day.
Yeah.
Not that day, please.
And
Please,
I
God.
I love having long fingernails, but here's the thing, if they're always going to grow back to exactly where they are, I'm going with a little princess cut moment because I can always get fake nails. But if I can't trim my nails ever,
That. Mhm.
cuz like inevitably I love having longer nails. They bring joy,
Mhm.
but like we're assuming now that we're like rough and tumbling, like I'm digging in the dirt, you know. I
Yeah.
don't want that all the time.
Digging in the dirt.
Like, imagine, like, because your nails can still break. Imagine them breaking continuously and then regrowing themselves overnight. Pissed off.
No, horrible.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that we're updating the pre vampire handbook. Things to
Mhm.
worry about when you're getting in your perfect body for where you will be for eternity, you know? I'm not joking. I'm going on some sort of crazy bulk. Like that's gonna be the hardest I ever hit the gym is to have like be buff as shit forever.
Just got to get a jump on it.
Yeah. I'll be like, hold on. Yeah. How long are you willing to wait? 6 months? I can do 6 months. I can do 6 months. Don't you worry. Like, give me a day, give me a time. I will be ready by then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the ideal situation, I think.
Hmm. I'm hiring a personal trainer. Like, I'm not joking. Don't you want to be like cute and femme and skinny and tiny? No. Bulk
No, I want to be a
forever.
fucking muscle mommy.
Forever. Are you joking? That shit stays. It never goes no matter how much I eat or what I do, and I just look like that all the time. Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah,
What?
honestly. That
Yeah. Okay. They're gonna be like, you never go to the gym anymore. I know. I don't have to. Locked in. Locked in. Okay. So we find out that his skin lightly glows, which is a wild thing to have to worry about. I'm just imagining, like, oh yeah, let me powder down, you know?
sexy, sexy, sexy.
This is definitely where, what's her face? Oh God, what's her name? I don't know, Twilight Lady? Stephanie Meyer.
Yes.
She's like, and they sparkle in the sun. Okay, girl. So Lestat figures out he can thrall people if he looks at them too hard and can easily shatter human ears.
Like without even trying, which is dangerous.
Yeah. It's funny because he got like probably the most powerful vampire to turn him and he's not a great person.
That could be it, yeah.
Like imagine if Superman was evil, you know?
Yeah. Fuck that.
So most mortals try to rationalize everything they think is out of the realm of normal, which I mean, I think that's a growing, like that's a constant thing. But then at the same time, I definitely think it's real. Like anybody that's had a ghost experience, they're like, and yeah, I just rolled over and went back to bed. Like, um, he's also prone to laughing and not being able to stop, which apparently makes both mortals and vampires uncomfortable.
I mean, I can understand that. Anyone
Yeah.
laughing too long is like,
Okay.
what's wrong?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Because then it becomes cackling.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like a vampire is probably cackling more than they're laughing
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. Can't do it.
So then he says he keeps feeling a presence in the Paris cemetery, but he cannot seem to draw it out.
This poor teenage vampire
Hmm.
slash ghost. Like this poor angel. Like
Hmm.
they're just trying to live their life. Every chapter that he gets closer to catching this person, I'm just like,
Yeah.
you poor fuck. By the
I,
time this guy catches you, he's
yeah.
gonna be annoyed that you've been hiding this whole time, and he's
Hmm.
gonna fucking try to tear your arms off. Like
Hmm.
it's like a cat that's been hunting like a frog in the house, or like a lizard or a moth or
Hmm.
something. The longer it's been hunting, the more vicious it gets. I'm just like, just show yourself, man. It's not worth it.
Yep.
I'm afraid for you.
I love that we both logically know it's probably Armand, but at the same time, we're like, no, teenage vampire that's just trying to figure his own shit out. Imagine you're like, I've been a teenager for like 70 years and you're still like vibing. You're like, yeah, I don't really like to hang out with other vampires, so I've just been kind of trying to figure this shit out on my own.
I've written a lot of short stories.
Yeah. It's like my poetry's gotten pretty good. I I do think my maker didn't realize he turned me into a vampire. It seems to have been a bit of an accident. I don't really know where they went, or what they're doing. So yeah, I'm just figuring this shit out on my own.
The most emo vampire child in the world.
Yeah.
Everyone leaves me. My life is a big dark room.
Yeah. This is my crypt. I don't let the heat turn on in the crypt because I don't think I deserve it. Um, So Stat's starting to wonder if only one vampire can exist in the world at a time. But he's like, yeah, no, actually, that's a terrible fucking idea. Like,
Mhm.
it's just the little bit of like narcissism that he's got going. I mean,
Yep,
not little. He's got a lot of narcissism going.
tons. But he's like, just thinking out loud, you know.
Yeah.
What if I were even more special than I already think I am?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What if I just was the chosen one? I don't know. Oh, Lestat suddenly realizing that he knows how to read is so fucking funny to me. He like looks at paper. He's like, "Wait, hold on.
Egads! I can read.
Like, how does becoming a vampire be like? Oh yeah. Also, now I can just read."
It's also interesting too because I feel like the fact that he was like the lord of a village, right? He and his family
Hmm.
like ran a village and were the people that like the others, like peasants, like looked up to. It feels like so, I don't know. It's like a through line to like the battle for education that we're
Hmm.
seeing going on right now, right? Like where people who are wealthy want to keep people who are less wealthy uneducated because the less
Hmm.
educated you are, the easier you are to control, right? So like
Hmm.
back then it makes sense that those wealthy people would have been intimidated by their peasants, right? Their constituents or whatever being, or subjects, I should say,
Hmm.
being more educated than them. Like even in that scene where Louis meets Nikki's dad, right? Where Nikki's dad
Hmm.
comes to pay a visit to the castle with all of his riches and stuff, right? You and I were like, wait, so you're less wealthy than the people whose like lives
Hmm.
you run, right? So I imagine like that kind of battle for power. Like I feel like we still see echoes of that today. So
Hmm.
now Lestat has like money and can read, and it's wild that he would have been like the lord of an entire area of France
Hmm.
outside of Paris, but none of them were literate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that's wild, right? That's wild shit.
Hmm.
You'd think that if anybody knew how to read, it'd be them.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Crazy work. And then his mother's like, "Are you still happy? Or like, do you possess happiness? Or why won't you write back to me?" I'm like, "Oh my god, wild."
Calm down.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, Jesus.
You're only dying a little bit.
Yeah. So, chapter 11, um, he shows back up at his lawyer's house and he's like, "Where's Nick? Where does he live?" Then he finds Nick's window and he's watching him have dinner with two other people from the theater. And I'm like, oh my God, the dark romance writes itself.
Dude, like he's like 5 seconds away from doing the John Cusack with like the fucking boombox, right? Like
Mm
say anything. He's
hmm.
like
Mm hmm.
there like looking up like and then he like
Yeah.
opines about how Nikki looks, right? He like sees him in the candlelight like about to have dinner with these two people. And they're of
Hmm.
course talking about him, which like delights him and repulses him at the same time, which
Yep.
accurate.
Yep.
If I hear someone talking about me, I'm like, "Ooh, ew, what? Why?"
Yeah.
Um but he's like it's so gay. Like, it's so gay. Like, she never explicitly says that they are married or that they're together, right? That never is
Hmm.
she's never open with it, but it's, like,
Hmm.
so obviously gay.
Hmm.
Like, he's, like, trying to, like, impart this, like, energy to him, like, willing him to see him out in the night, like, "Come out to the patio. Come out to
Yeah.
your balcony, please," right? Like,
Hmm.
it's filled with yearning, and as he describes what Nikki looks like,
Hmm.
if you go back to how Louis describes what he looks like in
Hmm.
Interview with the Vampire,
Hmm.
it's the same shit, you guys. Like, it's the same
Yeah.
shit. He has, like, a little ponytail, his hair is dark, he has light
Hmm.
eyes, right? He has the same coloring and same complexion and same lots of stuff as
Hmm.
Louis Pointelac. And I'm
Hmm.
like, "Oh, so you have a type, you have a preference, just like the person who
Hmm.
made you?
Hmm.
Mm?
Crazy.
Mm?"
Literally. Lestat said, and copy paste my trauma and put it onto
Literally.
him.
That.
Hmm.
That entirely because, like, oh my god, is there a very strong and obviously this isn't something to think about if you like watching the show because they make Louis black in that, so Lestat would have had to find a black Frenchman in these early days, which, like, there were black French people back then, but, like, that would have been a very specific story. This is very specific and only correct in dealing with the book, like the literary,
Hmm.
version of Louis and Nicholas, but in that moment I was like, this is very homosexual. I love it so much. It's very gay and beautiful, and I feel
Hmm.
once again catch myself feeling bad for Lestat, which I really hate.
I know. I
Really hate.
know. So the two other actresses are trying to convince Nick to move on from Lestat, which I'm like, okay, obviously they're dating. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's like, he's married and he doesn't want his wife to know he used to be a lowly actor. And Nick's like, no, no, the window was literally smashed to my apartment and I heard Lestat calling for me. So pretty sure we got kidnapped. Um, and then Nick's just like talking. And he's like, oh my God, runs to the window because he's like, can sense that Lestat's there. He's like, I feel him
Mm-hmm.
in the air. I feel his presence. Um, and
So
Lestat's like,
gay.
fuck! And just runs up to the roof.
I gotta be on the roof. Oh no.
So then Nick goes to the window, starts playing the violin because he's like, I know how much Lestat loved the violin. And like, he's here. I can sense it. And the two actors are like, oh my God, Nick's
We're gonna
fucking
go.
crazy. Yeah, we're going to
You
leave.
like obviously have some issues you gotta work out. One
Yeah.
thing I will say about this scene that really fucking made my heart skip a beat and delighted me though. So earlier in this chapter, Lestat is like unrelated to Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Lestat talks about how with his vampire eyes, right, now that he has like vampiric vision,
Mm-hmm.
he can see the flaws in great works of art. He can hear the stutters in music, right, when he hears
Mm-hmm.
it, when he listens to it. And he's standing there on that roof listening to Nikki play. And it's already been established that Nikki is not good enough to like work with Mozart, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
already like established that like he at least doesn't feel like he'll ever be at the top of his game no matter how much he tries because he didn't start
Mm-hmm.
early enough, right? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things you know about Nikki is that like he genuinely doesn't believe in his talent. And so you know that he's probably not a perfect player, which is why
Mm-hmm.
Lestat is like, let me get you lessons with the best person in the world, right? Let me buy the Stradivarius violin because it's the best in the world, right? Because you deserve the best.
Mm-hmm.
But Lestat, this person who fully admits that he can hear all of the imperfections in master level work,
Mm-hmm.
can't hear anything wrong with his lover's music.
Oh, it's because he's in love. He's
Because he's in love. And it hurts. It hurts. Like, I'm reading it because, like, Anne Rice doesn't go out and say that. Like, she's very much, like, showing you in this moment and
in love.
not telling you. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm reading it and I'm just like, Lestat just said that that it's so annoying to look at these people that are masters of their talent and see all of their fucking mistakes and their foibles and their hiccups, right? And then I'm like, how does he not hear that in fucking Nikki's music?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because
He's
he's
in
fucking
love.
smitten because that's his boyfriend and he thinks he can do no wrong. Like, that's so poetic. And I really do think that it shows this other side of Lestat, especially as a lover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, looking at how things went with Louis, if Louis had been able to kind of slough off more of his humanity, would they have
Mm-hmm.
been endgame, right? Would they have
Mm-hmm.
been together forever? Would he have been able to adapt to who Lestat is? Or does Lestat get so far away from this version of himself by the time he gets to Louis that it was always impossible?
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Hurt me.
It's so beautiful though.
It is.
I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah. Same. God damn it, tragedy.
Literally. He's like, man, I'm never gonna be seeing Nikki again. This is our final goodbye, and he doesn't even know. And then, like, end of chapter. Okay, so next night I'm sneaking into the theater. Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
He can't resist. I get it.
No.
I get it. It's the re-return, right? If you've
Yeah.
watched How I Met Your Mother, the re-return of like, I'm leaving, and then coming back and being like, listen, I was wrong. He
Yeah.
re-returned for the theater. He's gonna re-return for Nikki.
Oh yeah.
This is the way.
For sure. For sure. All right. Well, that's all we have to chat about today. Candace, where can the people of the internet find you and all the stuff you're working on?
You can find me at the Candace Marie on Blue Sky and at Candace Magnificent everywhere else. You can see me on the latest episode or one of the episodes. I think it's episode 8 of season 4 of Narrative Telephone on Critical Role. You can also hear me in the one shot of City of the Black Rose on the Darrington Press. They are apparently publishing that to YouTube, the one shot that I'm in, which I did not
Ooh.
know until today. You can hear me in Monaco 2, a brand new video game that was released by Pocket Watch Games. And you can listen to me on Three Black Halflings, Bloom and Blight, Partial Veil, and a host of other podcasts. Just check my socials and see where I'm at.
And then we'll see you right here in 2 weeks with another episode of the Barely Bookish Podcast.
Woo!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.